Life is a fight. Life is a fight. Life is a fight. Your entire life, you have two forces pulling on you. There's the force of inertia and comfort that says, do a little bit less, do the bare minimum, do just as much as you need, and hopefully you won't even have to do that. Seek out what is relaxing and what doesn't stress you or strain you or stretch you. And the more you give into that, the more you become weak, lazy, unhealthy. But then there's the other side of you that wants all the good things in life, wants to achieve, wants to succeed in a great way, wants to be able to afford really big things and be able to go on exciting adventures and see exciting places and have amazing experiences. And you know that that requires a lot of work and pushing and pulling against the inertia, the other side that's pulling you towards comfort and calm and laziness. So, and then there's also little things in the middle that pull on you, like the daily need, people demanding things from you, bosses and children and people you're responsible for and people you're responsible to, asking you for this and that, and dealing with little tiny crises that pop up along the way. Those things keep you from being lazy and settling, but they don't really help you ever get to the big things you want or your dreams. So you can live in this little world where you kind of go up and down and you just respond to each new little teeny tiny crisis and each new person demanding your attention right away. Or you can make your main focus on the big things that you want. But you'll quickly discover that if you focus on the big things, your biggest enemy is you. Is that other half of you that wants you to relax, that wants you to stay in one place. And the other bad thing is that once you start being brave and going after the big things and pressing into things that are not comfortable, pushing yourself, stretching yourself, first of all, it's painful a little bit in the beginning. But then once you start moving, the pain goes away and you start to get momentum and you start to feel good. And then you think, well, now I'm on the right track and I'm good and I'm going to be good. And then after a few days, a week, a couple weeks, you start to go right back down into the bad habits, right back into the laziness. And you say, wait a minute, I had it going. What happened? Because there's another thing, another path, and that is your body and your brain and your emotions don't like to change. They like to stay in what they are used to. So even if you push and you get up out of the laziness and out of the, boring stuff and you get into the exciting stuff and you live on this higher plane for a few weeks, if you let up just a little bit and a little bit more and a little bit more, you start creeping all the way back down to where you were a month ago. Because deep down inside, your body, your brain, your emotions have not fully reset and they're still trying to get back to normal. They think, he's pushing a little hard right now because maybe there's hard times right now and he had to push a little harder. But now it seems like the hard times are over and we're just going to get him back to what we're used to, which is this mundane, normal comfort where you're just getting by. So to break free to the point where you never go back is something you have to struggle even harder, and you have to fight longer than a week or 2 weeks, and you have to fight harder and battle it harder. But this should not be overwhelming. This should not make you say, oh, why even try then if it's going to be so incredibly hard and it's just going to be pain on top of pain on top of pain. Because there's another thing that's not mentioned, and that's the moment you start pressing into the pain doesn't scare you anymore. Pain only really hurts you because it's attached to fear. Because when you hurt something, your brain tells you you're injuring yourself and you're making life worse. But once you get over the fear and you realize the pain that you're experiencing is good, like the pain of exercise, that it's making you into a stronger person, and you start to love the pain a little bit, at least appreciate it, that takes all the sting out of it. And then it still doesn't feel comfortable. It still feels unpleasant. You still are counting the seconds until you're done doing whatever hard thing you're doing. But you can do it, and you know you can do it, and something totally different takes over. Excitement. Real, raw, energetic excitement. And that excitement is more alive than all those other feelings. The feeling of laziness and comfort suddenly looks depressing. Instead of looking comforting and warm and welcoming, it looks like a disgusting prison. And you're finally free. And you'd rather be free with a little tinge of pain than to be claustrophobically imprisoned in your comfort that you formerly thought was what you enjoyed. And another thing is, as you get into these higher levels of energy, of trying new things, of facing your fears, the whole world opens up to you. Suddenly those movies you love watching, those TV shows you love watching on Netflix or at the movie theater or anywhere, they don't look that exciting because you're actually living those things. You don't have to live vicariously through characters that are doing exciting things, because you are living exciting things. And it's so much better when you are the character, when you are the person feeling everything, seeing the amazing new things, tasting, smelling, feeling the wind on your face, meeting new people, having exciting moments. That is 3D, 4D. It's so much more real than the two-dimensional screen you're staring at, borrowing your excitement from some fictional character that was portrayed to you in on some little rectangle that lights up in your house. So most people don't try for the hard stuff. 80% of people generally just stay where they are, and they just kind of move along. They slowly increase as they gain knowledge and experience. They get promotions at work, and they have kids, and their kids have kids, and their friends have kids, and things change, and there's little ups and downs, but deep down inside they're hiding the fact that they never went after those big exciting things they dreamt of when they were teenagers or kids. And then the 20% make an effort, but a lot of their efforts, they keep falling and they keep falling, and they don't get up enough times to realize how to make it stick. And then there's that small percentage who just never gives up. They're just relentless, and they say, no, I'm not going to live my life without finding these big things that I want. And those people know the life that creates the stories, that inspires the movies and the TV shows that everybody else just watches, but they get to live it. So decide what kind of person you want to be. But understand that if you want to be that very small percentage that actually makes it, you can't give up, ever. And you can't be afraid of pain. You have to turn your brain around. You have to turn that switch 180 and embrace the pain, embrace the uncomfortable moments. And that doesn't make you a masochist that you start to just have to rewire yourself to like suffering. No, it makes you a warrior, because the suffering no longer hurts you and the pain no longer stings, and you feel it and you don't enjoy it, but what you gain, you love so much more than anything else in life, that the pain really doesn't matter, and eventually it goes away too, and you're left with nothing left but your dreams coming true. So decide what kind of person you want to be, but don't be wishy-washy. Don't take it lightly. Be real. Don't put it off till tomorrow. Don't say, well, obviously I'd like to be that very small percentage, but I have to think about how that would work. Not really. You're just afraid. And you have to decide at some point that the fear is just not as important as the dreams coming true. And when you decide, you know it. When you know, you know. When you decide in your brain that you're going to be that person, you know. And from that point on, there are no excuses. You just know that you are going to do this, and nothing is going to stop you. Not even your thoughts telling you that something's going to stop you. Not even your doubts, not even your fears. You're going to break through and crush all of them on your way to what you really, really, really always wanted. But don't let the mundane and don't let the everyday little pulls on you distract you. That makes it easy. Oh, I don't have to make this decision right now. I can make it tomorrow because I have to deal with my kid and I have to deal with my boss and I have to deal with this project. That's just you being scared. That's just you being, giving into the fear, pushing it down the road. Procrastination is nothing but fear. Make the decision right now. And if you don't want to go after that challenging life, then that's no different than most people. But don't be afraid to face that decision and decide what you really want.